What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Bianconeri zone. And we are looking to collect about 100 million euros for 8 players. That sounds ridiculous in today's market, like 8 players and you're only getting 100 million euros. Well, if we're going through the list, according to Corriere dello Sport, money we need, obviously, and also players we don't want at the club or slash Tudor, is not opting to lose out on. This is the list. This is actually a sad list valuation wise because 8 players for 100 million euros in today's market, that's horrible business. Even though if we're going through it, it might even make sense. Before we get into it, smash the like button and let's go through the list. Okay, so the list is as follow: Perin, Kelly, Rugani, Douglas Luiz, Kostic, Mbangula, Vlahovic, Milik. 100 million euros we want to reinvest into the market and also move on players we don't want. Let's go through the list because 100 million euros on first sight, it's like, that's not enough, for 8 players. Perin, a player who is at the top of my head 32, a player who can join Bologna potentially if they sell their number one goalkeeper. If it's not Bologna, then it's an even lesser team. How much are you going to get for Perin? You can say he's worth 20 million. Bologna are not paying us 20 million. They're just not going to do it. And he wants to leave. Leaves you in a situation where you're probably going to accept around 8 to 10 million euros. How crazy it is, because I think Perin is worth more than 8 to 10. But you're selling to teams who are not paying us money. I want Comoli to say, no, if you want Perin, pay us 20 million euros because he's a starting goalkeeper. He will win you points. If you want him, pay up. If not, you tell Perin, you're going to be the backup. You're just going to be the backup. We got you on the cheap. That money is already gone. You're just going to be the backup. It is what it is. If you want to move, we need that money. We need 20 million euros, close to 20 million euros you're worth of. You're worth 20 million euros. We want that money. That's something Comoli needs to do. And if not, you're just going to be the backup to Di Gregorio because you made that decision and we're not going to half the price just because you want to go out and play now after you said you're happy to sit on the bench. Literally his words. You cannot do that right now. So that's one that's probably going to be undervalued. Kelly, well, we paid over the top. He goes to the Premier League, maybe, is a Crystal Palace. Everybody knows if you try to move on Kelly 5 months after you signed him, the statement is clear for every single club. You want him out. So we're not gonna pay you the big bag, even if it's a Premier League. I'm looking at it. Still, I'll be shocked if we move him on after 4 months. I don't think that's really going to happen. But if we get half of that money back from a Crystal Palace, for example, it's a win. It's a win for this management to clean up a mess that has been created by Giuntoli. It's a win. But even this, I feel like it's a stretch, 10 million euros at this moment in time, because everybody knows we want him out. If you move out a player 5 months after you sign him, the message is clear. So that's also somebody you just pick your money up and you move it on. Rugani, what is he worth? 4 million? 5 million? Is he 33, 34? Loan to Ajax. Even he didn't play there. All the games when he played, it wasn't good at all, to be honest, most of the time. Where is he going to go and play? It's not going to go to Bologna and those teams. It's going to be lower down the pecking order. He's on quite some money. Probably not a big issue for those teams, but those teams are not going to pay you a lot of money. It's one of those things where if you move out Kelly and others and he's your fifth option, the club will probably keep him because he's on quote-unquote lower wages. If not, if you have too many, you just need to accept the 3-4 million you're probably going to get, and that's more like because of the club's interest, you're not going to get 10-50 million euro for Rugani. It's impossible considering the situation. So you're probably going to accept that 3-4 million euro you're going to get if he's surplus, in the squad, and you take that. Douglas Luiz, if you just look at Douglas Luiz, you're like, how was that list 100 million when Douglas Luiz in it? You need to get at least, if he goes to the Premier League, and I'm talking even about swap deals, value-wise, you need to get at least 45 million euros for him, at least in value, minimum. I don't care. If you get less for him, selling to the Premier League club, you've done a poor/horrible job. because I don't. He lost value, but I don't think he lost so much value for Premier League clubs where it's like, oh, because when he played, and that's when he played, he was just injured. That was more the issue than, oh, he has so much bad tape. He had unlucky tape in the start of the season, but bad tape, not enough for teams, in my opinion, or for you to say, yeah, just take him off our hands, 30 million euros. He still holds value in the Premier League. So you should be getting at least 45, 50 million for him in value. Otherwise, you've done a poor job. At that point, you're like, you just keep him and you try to make it work. You cannot undersell like crazy. That can just not happen. Kostic, same for Rugani. Only his wages are ridiculous. They're on 3.5 almost with bonuses. You take what you get. Fenerbahce think it's too much. You just move them on. These players cannot stay at the club. You cannot haggle about them. The more time you waste on it, the bigger the chances they're just going to end up on your books again. You just need to be smart with it and take the slight hit probably, but move these players out. They shouldn't be coming back every single season. Like, that thing needs to stop. In Bangula, Tudor doesn't rate him. I've seen quotes from 10 million euros. No, he's a talented player. I don't care which team is interested in the Bundesliga. You pay 20 million euros and that's it. You pay 20 million euros and that's clean money. You cannot undersell like we did with Huijsen or Sule. Like, even being Komoli, and you've not done the Huijsen and Sule deal. Just look at those deals. Those are horrible. From the get-go, they were horrible. Now the Huijsen one is going to hunt us for ages. People are going to laugh at us for ages, rightfully so. So you cannot do the same thing with Mbangula and say, Mainz, you want him? Here you go, 8 million euros. No, he's a talented player. You need to cash in. Vlahovic, that's a sticking point. Are you going to swap him? Value-wise, you can do that. But his wages he's demanding from other teams are an issue. Might be such an issue that you're going to need to lower your own demands just to get him out. That's why the rumors are out there. If he lowers his demands, then maybe he can stay with us, which cannot be the case. But Douglas Luiz and Vlahovic should be adding up to 80. And Bangula, it should be around 100 for those players alone. And then the other ones, whatever. So Milik, that's, you signed him to a new deal. Being Juntili, you move that player on. For whatever, peanuts. You need to get rid of these players. I get it. For some, you just need to do it quick. Just get them out, get it over, take some hits here and there. But for the other ones, like I mentioned, you need to stand firm because some of them have value. They still have value, and you need to maximize that value for once. For once, do it. Because Perin doesn't need to leave, and Bangula doesn't need to leave, really. So you can wait. If these players want to go, cool, but the value is the value. We're not going to have that just because you want out. That needs to be a thing for Komoli. Don't throw them just out there just for the sake, all of them. Some, I get it, who have low value, 4 or 5 million. If you take 3 or 2.5, it is what it is. But man, going from 40, 50, 30 and stuff like that, that can just not be the case this summer. Absolutely not, because we need the money, obviously. And we just need to be a big club again and act like a big club. Anyways, you let me know in the comments what your valuations is for these players and if you think it's actually realistic to move them all out this summer with no loan deals, just gone for good. Let me know in the comments and we will discuss further there. Ciao.